Hey everyone, it's Jimmy here. Welcome back to gamescastlive.com. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a GCL replay with one of the PS2 gems, Shadow of the Colossus. So let's jump straight into it and check it out. So basically Shadow of the Colossus was produced by and developed by Team Ico, who did Ico originally on the PlayStation 2 and who have a PlayStation 3 game coming out called The Last Guardian. But Shadow of the Colossus was released in 2005 exclusively to PlayStation 2. And basically the game, it did very well, got a great reception, but a lot of people didn't get to play it across the globe just due to its being released in Japan and staying primarily on NTSC platforms. But if you are lucky enough, you can get your hands on a copy of it. Basically the game is a third-person action-adventure platformer, but it's described more as a puzzle game rather than a pure action game. The premise of the game basically is you're a young guy called Wonder, and your girlfriend seems to have passed away, unfortunately. So he takes her to this far land where there is a supposed power which can resurrect people from the dead. But in order to do that, Wonder will have to fight 16 colossi across the land in order to gain the power. Now the colossi are basically giant stone creatures, each incarnated by a spirit of some sort. But the point is you basically have to ride across the land, find these 16 colossi and take them down. But the fun comes into it is basically it's not just a standard one-on-one fight. Each colossi has its own personality and its own tricks up its sleeve, and you have to learn its moves and learn how to take it down. It's not so much combat when you find the colossi, it's more a puzzle platformer. You've got to find out how you've got to kill them, and you basically got to navigate your way up these giant beasts and find their weak points and stab them, most usually in the head. But the first couple colossi are pretty straightforward, but then the next ones further on start using a lot of the environment within the game. You have to, in the latter parts of the game, you have to use very clever techniques to get onto them. And while you're on them, there's a whole bunch of other unique game mechanics, like you have to hold onto the colossi, obviously, otherwise it shakes you off, and you hold down the R1 button to hold onto the colossi's hair or edges, and you have a grip meter. So if while you're holding on, your grip meter decreases and you have to keep moving and find some flat ground to stand on to regenerate your grip before you can carry on. And it's a phenomenal game. It looks, for PlayStation 2, it's come out in 2005. I mean, this game is a really, really good looking game. Nothing ever loads while you're riding through the levels. It's a huge open world level. The score is phenomenal. Each colossi has basically a different soundtrack to it, I may say, while you fight it. It's a really, really good game. A lot of people don't know anything about it, but definitely try to check it out if you can. But yeah, it's basically Shadow of the Colossus. It's something you've got to play for yourself. It's very arty also. It's got a great art direction. There's a rumor that it might be re-released as one of the HD remakes for PlayStation 3, just like the recent God of War collection, but it's just rumor at the moment. But still, if you still have your PS2 on you, this is a game that you should really, really try to get your hands on. And that's about it. But if we had to narrow it down to give a verdict, this game is phenomenal. It definitely still to this day stands its ground against some of the best next-gen titles. And it gets a 5 out of 5 in our replay books. So check it out. Thanks guys for checking out the episode. Cheers.